Time that we spend on the latest political developments in the nation's biggest population centers, for example, the election of a Muslim socialist in New York City or the attacks on immigration officers in Los Angeles, it's undeniable that some of the biggest and most important stories are happening in much smaller cities and towns across the country. It's in the smaller locales that we're seeing some of the real flashpoints emerging. Even though no corporate media outlet would dare to talk about them, what we are now seeing are very disturbing images that could soon define our national politics as large-scale demographic replacement begins to take hold. And whatever you make of the disasters unfolding in places like New York and California, the decline of smaller cities is even more disturbing. So consider Dearborn, Michigan, population just north of 100,000. If you were ranking American cities by population, Dearborn wouldn't even crack the top 300. But the population that Dearborn does have is highly significant. Dearborn currently has a larger portion of Muslims than any other city in the U.S. And it recently became the first Arab majority city in the country. Fully 55% of Dearborn's residents say they have Middle Eastern or North African ancestry, which explains why Dearborn boasts the largest mosque in the entire continent of North America. Now, Dearborn, as I've said so often on the show, is in every way an Islamic capital at this point. It is not an American city at all, except geographically. Dearborn has been conquered. And the few remaining Americans in Dearborn are now finding themselves surrounded by mobs of Muslims chanting Allah Akbar and telling them to leave the city. So this is footage that was taken by Nick Shirley, one of the few journalists who's willing to travel to Dearborn and report honestly about what he sees there. The footage shows Shirley attempting to interview an activist named Jake Lang, who was one of the pardoned January 6th defendants. But the interview doesn't go anywhere because at this point, Dearborn basically resembles Fallujah. Watch.
I believe they're going to cancel the 6:30 City Hall meeting because everybody's chimping the out. Stop it! I don't have bananas. Chill out. I don't have bananas. This is not America. This is an insurgency. They are taking over our country. They're taking over our country. They want us all dead.
Wow. This is Dearborn, Michigan right now.
Yes, this is Dearborn, Michigan. Any racist is not welcome. No races here.
Now, that is a video that should be playing on repeat on every American news station. The president should have responded to this by now. It is footage that 25 years ago, everybody would have assumed came from Iraq or Afghanistan. So to be clear about what you just saw, if you're an American citizen and the mob of Muslims that controls Dearborn believes that you're racist, then you're not welcome in the city any longer. Your constitutional rights to freedom of expression are suspended. You'll be surrounded and hounded by mobs shouting Allah Akbar. And indeed, that is the official position of the government of Dearborn. It was just a few weeks ago, you may remember that the mayor of Dearborn, Abdullah Hamoud, publicly berated a Christian pastor, telling him he's not welcome in the city because of his views. This is the same mayor who, as we talked about yesterday, said he disavows the concept of assimilation. So this tactic of driving out Americans who disagree with the Islamization of the city extends not just to the mob, but to government officials in the city as well. So that's what makes this, among other things, a constitutional crisis. In an American city, no one, not even an alleged racist, quote unquote, should be surrounded, intimidated, and forced to leave for their speech. That's not something that should ever happen under any circumstance. It doesn't matter if he starts talking about bananas. It doesn't matter if he insults Muhammad. It doesn't matter if he burns a Quran. I don't agree with that. I wouldn't do it myself. But this is America. In this country, unlike the Muslim world, we have the freedom of speech, freedom of association. The Quran is not a sacred text that we protect by law. Muhammad is not a prophet whose name we revere in this country. This is America. But places like Dearborn don't look much like America anymore or act like it. Jake Lang, while holding a sign reading Americans Against Islamification, was also punched in the face on camera in Dearborn by someone who quickly ran away very courageously. Watch.
I'm a traitor! I'm a traitor! I'm a traitor! I'm a traitor!
That wimp just running away. He's like already running away while the punch is still in the air being thrown. He's already somehow running away. Now, as long as we're still prosecuting hate crimes in this country, why hasn't the federal government opened an investigation into that attack? That's a hate crime. He's protesting against Islamification, which is his right as an American citizen. I don't care how you feel about it. You don't have to like him or agree with his tactics. It can make you feel upset. It can make your tummy hurt that he's got a sign that says, we're against Islamification. Doesn't matter. Deal with it. He is well within his constitutional rights as an American. Well within them. He's expressing a view about a particular religion that he believes conflicts with his own beliefs. And for doing that, he was violently attacked in the middle of the street. It's a hate crime. So where's the DOJ that prosecuted Douglas Mackey for making a meme? Why aren't they all over this? Douglas Mackey was charged with violating Americans' right to vote by making a meme about Hillary Clinton somehow. Meanwhile, we have a clear attack on somebody engaging in First Amendment protected speech. And so far, it hasn't been a word about it from the DOJ. And by the way, this wasn't the only time that Lang was attacked in Dearborn, and others were attacked as well. The independent journalist Cam Higbee was pepper sprayed and assaulted after he attempted to defend a Christian protester